Today is an excellent day. Why is it an excellent day?
It's warmer.
We can feel our faces. That's a positive. We can feel our hands. The sun is shining. It's the first day that I actually feel warm in like 4 days. We've been going through the Arctic blast. I know everybody else has as well. And it's been a bit of a challenge for us with animals and heating our house and the power going out, all of those things. So today our goal is, checking on all the animals again, making sure everybody's good to go, and enjoying the beautiful sunshine. So here we are at the pigs. One of the things that happened during those freezing temperatures was the water container that we have for the pigs broke. So we've got to get a new water. I don't know if it's the freezing temperatures and everything just kind of froze it and it cracked. The pigs were a little more high maintenance during the freezing temperatures. We had to feed them extra, 3 times a day?
Yeah.
3 times a day instead of 2 times a day. And often Travis would find them huddled up together and he would have to poke them just to get them to get up, get moving and eat. We would need to check on them and keep them moving so that they would stay warm. But all in all, they survived and they're happy little pigs staring at their food, their fermented food. If you haven't seen our other video on raising pastured pigs, we talk about how we ferment our food. Check that video out. Great job keeping the pigs alive, babe.
Thanks. I mean, these guys are over 200 pounds now, about 225 or so. They've got a good layer of fat on them, which is good insulation. A lot of folks will have an actual shelter for them. They don't really need it if they can get out of the wind. And it was it was cold, but it was dry. Thankfully, it wasn't ice or snow. They would all bed down up on the top of the hill near the tree line where there's a good wind break. And so even though it was like -10 wind chills, they were able to survive that okay without any shelter. Now, the ones that were on the outside didn't have as much body heat because they had one side exposed. And those I had to get in there and actually kind of like get a stick and prod them in the morning to get them up moving. Then the worst of it.
During the 3 degrees.
It would have been nice if we had some old junky hay or straw and we could have just dumped it up there and they would have like tunneled in it and they would have been a lot warmer that way. So moving forward, that would be nice to kind of do in the future. So, but yeah, they're doing good now. They're looking
quite healthy,
quite vibrant.
Yes. So. While we're here, let me just go ahead and talk about the difference between this plastic feeder that we've got the fermented food in right now. This one also actually has a little crack on the bottom, but the food is still staying in there. This is a smaller version of the cracked one that I just showed you here that cracked during the big storm. And then we also have another feeder, water, whatever you want to call it, container. Yeah. This one's made out of rubber. This one is way more durable. It bends with them. They can be pretty rough on containers. So if we had to go back again, we would have just bought these, but now we've learned these are the way to go with the pigs. All right, we are done with the pigs. Where are we headed next?
I'll go check on the cows.
All right, let's go find out what they're up to. We're at the cows now. We're gonna check them out. Travis has a little juice box. He got a little thirsty.
Don't tell the kids.
Don't tell the kids. Actually, we had one of our kids yesterday who was sick with a stomach bug. So we had these little Honest Kids juice boxes and we had one left. All right, so let's talk about the cows and what was really involved in the cows during those cold temperatures. If you haven't seen our video on moving the cows in an Arctic blast, that was interesting. I literally could not feel my face or my hands. But we wanted to move them to a place where they would get a little more shelter from all the wind. However, we found out that it didn't really bother them as much. They were probably the hardiest animal, right?
I think they probably did about the best. I mean, it helps that it was, like I said earlier, it was cold, but it was dry. It wasn't sleeting, it wasn't snowing, it wasn't cold rain. So if you look at like our brown Swiss here, and she's got a great winter coat.
It's beautiful.
And
She's
I mean,
got
it's
a
just nice
beautiful
and
coat.
thick.
Hey girl. Hey Josie.
And yeah, that just really gives them a great insulation from the cold. Whereas the pigs are all huddled up together, you know, these guys would just kind of sit on their own wherever. They really didn't even use the windbreak that much, which was kind of surprising for me. Thought they would have.
Yeah, and then we've got that roll of hay there.
Yeah, that was a big round bale, and they've been just destroying that thing. They've been eating a ton. That is one thing about animals in cold weather. They stay warm by eating and burning those calories. So you've got to make sure that you're feeding them appropriately when it's cold.
Yeah, definitely. Now, what about their water?
We have a 100-gallon tank up here.
Let's just walk up here.
We have a 100-gallon tank up here. So I topped it off before the freezing weather hit. And so I would come out several times a day and bust it up. Especially when they are eating the dry hay, they need a lot of water, even if it's cold. So yeah, you just gotta kind of suck that up and go out there and bust it,
Freeze your face off.
Go ahead and do it.
If there's one person who worked the hardest during these 4 days of freezing temperatures, it was Travis. We've mentioned before that we heat our house with wood, and which is great, and it works out great. But we're not used to these pretty cold temperatures, so our wood stove was having trouble keeping up with our house. And Travis would get up in the night and fill up the wood stove again in the middle of the night just to keep us at a temperature that was manageable, I would say. Not even toasty, but manageable. If we were in this kind of climate, we would probably need several more wood stoves in the house to stay warm. But because we're in North Carolina, the wood stove that we have in the fireplace upstairs work well for us, and we're usually warm, except when we have extreme temperatures like this. All right, there's the water, and you can see there's quite a bit of ice still in there, but again, just been breaking it up. We don't have a electric heater. I know they sell them to go inside of these containers. However, we also lost power, so that wouldn't have helped very much when we didn't have any power. We do have a backup generator, but the power wasn't out long enough. We've had power out for a week before, but the power wasn't out long enough for us to really need to pull up that generator. So
if you look over here at our neighbors, there's a water up in the hill. That cow's that right there.
It's kind of hard to see, but
that one doesn't require any power at all. It's below the frost line, but it is fed off of his well over there. So when they lost power, the cows, even though that, you know, that doesn't require power for them to drink, it's not going to be resupplied from the well that has no power. So
they still have problems.
They still had issues. Yeah, he had to come out here and let them into the lake, the little pond here.
Yeah.
So.
All right, cows are good.
Yep, cows are good.
Let's go check on the bunnies. All right, we're at the bunnies, and we have the bunnies. As you can see, they're in a suspended cage so that their poop falls down to the floor. We also have a windbreaker here so that the wind doesn't hit them too strongly. It helps with the rain. They're under the covered part of our barn, so they've got the roof covering them. But we really had to work hard on their water. We do not have a system to keep the water heated. It's on the list, but we haven't done it yet. So these waters just got solid ice. We had to bring them in, put them by the fire to melt them, and then bring them back out. And so it was really a constant going to check, bringing them in, melting them, and bringing them back out. And then just making sure they have enough feed so that they keep eating and that they can keep warm. But they look great. They survived and they're thriving.
And I would add that nothing insulates like rabbit fur.
Oh, yes.
I mean, these guys,
Yes, they're amazing.
as long as they're not wet and they have a little bit of break from the wind, they just do amazing.
So probably the ones that were the least affected by the storm were our ducks. They did amazing. We just had to bust up their water, but these guys love the wet weather. The cold does not bother them at all. And so they survived quite well. All in all, everybody did great on the cold days that we had. All the animals did great. They survived. It was double the work.
Yeah, easily.
Double the work. Again, because we're not used to these temperatures in North Carolina, we're not set up for this. And so when something like this happens, it really is a lot more work. You would think, oh, you're just breaking up water or you're just feeding them extra, but that's a lot of extra time. So basically, I would say for the last 4 days, your full-time job was taking care of animals and keeping the house warm.
Yeah.
Because that also was a full-time job. Constantly putting wood in the wood stove, in the fireplace. I don't think I'd want to do this on a regular basis. Not planning on moving up north. Nope, that solidified it this weekend. No plans ever. But we survived. All the animals survived. And today is sunny and beautiful.
Yep.
Thanks so much for watching us. If you like this video and you like other videos, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel, and also comment. We'd love to hear what you guys think about the videos, or maybe things that you would like for us to talk about or go into more detail about. We want to hear from you. So comment, let us know what you're looking for, and have a beautiful, wonderful day.